an internal tug of war.
Good morning, good. You got your phone? Okay.
Nah.
You can talk to you.
Like it?
Yeah, so do you feel comfortable?
Yeah,
And then
you can just.
Yep, help. That's all.
Yeah, a little flat. There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. Are you comfortable?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna have you scoot down just a hair.
Sure.
Yep.
That good?
Mm-hmm. Is that comfortable?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's get started, baby.
That's fine. Your intense desire to win in life, financially, physically, in your fitness, in your family, to win in your faith, to have more fun than you've had before, to be more fulfilled, to have a bright and noble, wonderful future, that desire is real. But some of you have had that desire for a year, 2 years, 3 years, a decade or more, and are no closer to it now than you were when you first started. So in this video, entitled World War Me, 7 internal conflicts that keep you stuck, I'm going to show you why so many people have a hard time getting unstuck. And one of the biggest problems is, one of the biggest reasons you stay stuck, before I even get into any of these seven reasons, one of the biggest reasons you stay stuck is because you are misattributing the reason you're stuck. And so you're thinking you're stuck because of something going on out there. But the reality is, you're stuck because of something going on in here. There are 7 internal conflicts. I promise you. Yeah, I get it. You're a woman in a man's world. I get it. But that's not the reason you're stuck. I get it. You're a black man in a white man's world. I get it. Yeah, but that's not the reason you're stuck. I get it. I can't win because the establishment is against me. Maybe the establishment's against you. That's not why you ain't winning. The reason you're not winning is because something's going on inside. And before I even get into what these 7 internal conflicts are, let me help you understand something about how life works. About how what works? Life. Here's how life works. There are 2 types of factors when it comes to how things turn out in our lives. There are contributing factors, and there are determining factors. And contributing factors, for the most part, I'm going to say 95% of the time, contributing factors are all outside of us. And determining factors, 95% of the time, are inside of us. So if you're looking at something outside of you and you're concluding that that's the reason you're not winning, there's a 95% chance you're off. Now, so what I've got to do is I've got to start looking inside and finding out where this internal conflict is. Because internal conflicts, a lack of congruency is one of the reasons most people stay stuck. And there are a lot of areas. I mean, there are way more than 7, but I figured I could probably get through 7 today. Maybe I can get through at least the first one. And so, here's what I've discovered. Internal conflict number 1 in World War Me is this: the conflict between desire and expectation. And I am telling you that your internal conflict between desire and expectation is robbing you of the energy to take action in the direction of your dreams. What do I mean by that? I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you an illustration on my trusty digital blackboard, and you'll understand more what I'm talking about. This absolutely blows my mind, but this is how it actually works. So inside of us, it's so interesting that it says in the book of James that a double-minded man is unstable in what? All of his ways. So internal conflicts are like really doing a job on you. Okay, so inside of us, with regard to pretty much any given thing, we have an internal tug of war between D and E. Now, D stands for desire, E stands for expectation. In fact, I just thought of something really cool. Oh, Myron, you cracked yourself up. So inside of me, there's an internal tug of war between desire and expectation. and this internal conflict that I have with desire and expectation, if I am unaware of how desire and expectation work, this could keep me stuck for decades. How? Because in the conflict with desire and expectation, I'm going to say something y'all may not love too much. Expectation always wins. When there is a conflict between desire and expectation always wins. What? Always. So if you desire to do better, but you expect to do worse, you're going to do worse. If you desire to succeed in business, but you expect to fail in business, you are going to fail in business. If you're in sales and you desire to make sales, but you expect to not make sales, you are not going to make sales. If you desire to get in shape, but you expect it not to work, you are not going to get in shape. It doesn't matter what it is. When and if desire and expectation are in conflict with each other inside of me or you or any other human being, expectation always wins. Now, that sounds almost like insurmountable, doesn't it? But it's not. Because there is something you can do. There is a way you can get desire to win. And by the way, the reason expectation always wins is because expectation is a greater superpower than desire. One of the things we know about desire from King Solomon, the wisest, wealthiest man who ever lived, he said, desire shall fail. But one thing Jesus told us about expectation is what? If you can believe, all things are possible to him that believes. So expectation is your greatest superpower. Your ability, but you got to understand that expectation is sometimes an unharnessed superpower. Kind of like The Greatest American Hero. Y'all remember that show? Some of y'all are old enough to remember the show The Greatest American Hero. If you haven't, it's literally worth watching the theme song and just watching the show come on YouTube. Just type in Greatest American Hero intro song on YouTube and go watch it. And there's this guy, he was a teacher, and these aliens came and they left his superhero suit, and he put the superhero suit on, but the wind blew and the directions blew away, and so he had these superpowers, but he didn't know how to use them. So he could fly, but he couldn't land. Right? He always came crashing through a wall. And the song was like, believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could be so free. Believe it or not, I'm living in a prayer. Believe it or not, it's just me. So there was this song, and there was this guy that had these superpowers, and it's so much like an allegory of how life works. We're all walking through life with a superpower called expectation, but we lost the instruction. We didn't lose the instruction. We just didn't realize that the Bible is the instruction. And so we're not looking for the instructions in the instructions, so we don't find the instructions. So we're walking around with these superpowers that we don't know how to use. Okay, so expectation is a force to be reckoned with. It's one of those things that we have to learn how to use. Now, I'll tell you what I mean by that in a minute. So I said expectation always wins, right? So what you can do, if expectation and desire are in conflict, how can I get desire to win? Well, that's easy. All you have to do is take your expectation and I know this will work. I know this. Come on, this it's not working. So it's not working the way I wanted it to work. Okay, so here's, I'm gonna try it one more time. Because basically what you have to do is you have to recruit your expectation to pull in the same direction as your desire. Now, what does that mean? That means you have to set an intention to only expect desirable outcomes. You have to set an intention to only, see, what we do is we have these desires, and it's really fascinating. We've all heard the phrase "history repeats itself," right? So it's really fascinating to watch people who have desires to do better, but their desire to do better is wasted on their belief in an undesirable expectation. I literally see it all the time, and they literally can't get out of their own way. And so imagine, like you've heard people, they say, I'm going to try to build a business, right? I'm going to try to make this business work. I'm really trying. How's it going? How's your new entrepreneurial endeavor going? I'm really trying, right? What does trying mean? It means that my desire is in conflict with my expectation. That's what it means. Now, why do I say that? Here's why. Imagine if I woke up in the morning and I said, well, I'm going to try to go upstairs and work out, and hopefully I don't fall down the steps and break my neck. I'm going to try to work out, and hopefully I don't break my arm while I'm lifting. And I'm going to try to row for 15 minutes and hope I don't have a heart attack while I'm rowing. And then I'm going to go downstairs, I'm going to try to eat breakfast and hope I don't choke on the food that I'm eating. And I'm going to try to drink some water and hope that I don't drown in the glass of water that I'm drinking. And then I'm going to go out to my car and I'm going to try not to slam my finger in the door. And then I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to try to go to work, and hopefully none of these Florida drivers run me off the road. See, if I talk like that, what would you think about me? This is a crazy person. Right? If I put a contingency about all the negative things that could happen at the end of every little thing that I did, you would think I'm crazy. Well, is it crazier to put that contingency at the end of little things, or is it crazier to put that contingency at the end of big things? And that's what we do. So we don't do that like stuff we expect to work. Now, here, that whole analogy that I just gave you paints the picture of why this happens. Because with little things, we know what those little things working out looks like. We know what it feels like. So we know how to hold in our imagination an image of it working out okay. But when it comes to something we haven't done yet, or maybe something we've, quote, attempted to do in the past, what happens is we are more familiar with how it feels when it doesn't work the way we expected it to than we are with how it feels to work the way we expected it to. Like, for me, expecting to have $100,000 day or $1 million day is, to me, there's nothing hard about expecting that. Like, because it's way easier for me to expect it now that I've done it so many times, I can't even remember how many times I've done it, than it would be for me to do it the first time. It doesn't mean it's impossible for me to expect it the first time. It's a lot harder to imagine something that you don't have in it. Make sure you describe an expectation that matches your desire with no contingencies.
All right, what are we doing today?
So you're gonna do one with a fade up, and then just on top, just the messy look kind of push forward and just so trim it up.
And that's what. And when you create
Still make it
when you
spiky.
create
Yes, yeah, but just not so much. It just needs to
doubt
look off.
it gives you the ability to take an action in faith that you could not take in doubt. Is what I'm saying making sense? Because we know that faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So when I'm telling me the same thing that God's already told me, now I'm replacing the doubt in here with a faith. By the way, faith and doubt are both belief. Doubt is belief in the outcome I don't desire. Faith is belief in the outcome I do desire. But faith and doubt are both belief. Doubt is not the absence of belief. Doubt is belief in an unfavorable outcome. Faith is belief in the promise of the Father. Now, if we think about the word desire, right? Desire. Sire. Day, of or from. Sire, Father. Of or from the Father. The word desire means of or from the Father. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Most people think that means he'll give you what you desire. I believe it means he'll give you what to desire. And when he gives you what to desire, he gives you what you desire because you desire what he desires you to desire in the first place. So there. How's that for a tongue twister? And so what happens is when I learn how in real time, in what time? In real time, to replace the anxious apprehension of the outcome I don't desire. So when I'm expecting an unfavorable outcome, I have anxiety. What's anxiety? Anxiety is wasting present energy on a future outcome that's undesirable to me. So what's happening is I'm expecting an unfavorable outcome. And so my heart starts going, my breathing gets really shallow, and my hands start sweating, and my head starts sweating. Why? I'm having a physical reaction in the present to an unfavorable outcome that I'm expecting in the future. So, future expectations can positively or negatively impact present state of feeling. And so I've got to get control over the superpower called expectation. Because if I don't, I will live a defeated life in World War II. I will not win. Okay, so I told you if I can get past what? Number one. Okay, now you know what I meant. Okay, so because this is one of the most important battles in World War II. I have to learn how. I was saying, faith is belief in the promise of the Father, desire. Doubt is belief in the promise of the FOFA. The FOFA. Okay, go looking at it crazy. Faith is belief in the desire of foe. Foe. I should have put this one first. Foe. What's foe? Foe, this word foe is fake. And when we believe the fake foe, the fake enemy, more than we believe the promise of the Father, then we have anxiety. So faith is belief in the promise of the Father. Doubt is belief in the promise or the threat of the foe. Are y'all tracking? And so what I've got to learn how to do is I've got to learn how to believe what God said more than I believe what Satan shows, more than I believe what the world system shows. I've got to have so much, I have to be so locked in on the promise that the problem does not deter my expectation of the outcome of that promise. That's a totally different way to live, y'all. Totally different way to live. But we can live that way. So I have to get to the place in my life where I only have empowered expectations. Now, how do I do that? I'm not going to go into the teaching the passage right now, but I'll just say it. For those of you who want to study it, Hebrews chapter 11, verses 1, all the way through chapter 12, verse 4. And here's what we have to learn how to do in real time. Y'all ready? Here's what we have to learn how to do in real time. We have to learn how in real time to replace the anxious apprehension of the outcome we don't desire with the joyful anticipation of the outcome we do desire.
Okay, I'm going to say that again. We replace the anxious apprehension. Anxious means I've got anxiety. Anxiety, wasting present energy on a future outcome that's undesirable to me. Do you understand? Worrying about something makes it happen because while you're worrying about it, while you're having anxiety about it, you're actually wasting the energy that you could have used to do something about it to make it not happen. So replacing the anxious apprehension with apprehension means. Apprehension means to stop. There's a criminal on the loose, but we apprehended it. We stopped it, right? So we have to learn how to replace the anxious apprehension, the anxiety we feel inside that stops us from taking the action. We have to learn how to replace that with the joyful anticipation of the outcome we do desire. And we have to learn how to do that as soon as we feel that anxiety in our heart. We have to say, okay, this is not serving me and it's not giving me the ability to please God or serve anybody else, so I might as well replace this with something more useful. And I have to become hyper-intentional about doing that. And when I become hyper-intentional about doing it, and then I write out exactly what the feeling is that I'm going to have instead, and what I'm going to focus on instead, and I stop giving energy to outcomes I don't desire and only give energy to outcomes I do desire, everything changes. Like, everything. One of the most important things I do when I'm doing anything is to believe that the thing that I'm doing is going to do the thing I desire it to do when I started doing it. Is what I'm saying making some sense? And hopefully, this will, like, I know I'm not the only person who's ever been in World War Me. Can I get a witness? One of my people. Okay, so the first one.
Are we taking all this out?
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
The first one.
Can we take it off?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah, I just didn't shave this morning.
Our expectation. I have to make sure, if I don't make sure my expectation pulls in the same direction as my desire, I'm going to self-sabotage everything that I work on my whole life. How's that? Okay, good. Number 2. Numero dos. Okay. I'm going to do it this way. Poverty consciousness versus prosperity consciousness. And for all of you who prosperity consciousness, for all of you who are going to comment in the comments, this guy, oh, by the way, in case you're wondering what this guy's name is, it's Minor and Golden. Okay, this guy, why does this guy talk about money so much? When the people who are watching you stop being broke so much, I'll stop talking about money so much. I'm talking about money because that's the thing that's missing. That's the thing that you and your spouse got in an argument about yesterday. I don't even remember the last time my wife and I got in an argument about money. I don't know if we ever have, but if we have, it was so long ago I don't remember. Argument about money? How please? Money? Money. Okay. Sorry, I'm starting to feel like out of my position a little bit. You talking about money? Okay. So poverty consciousness. What is poverty consciousness? Poverty consciousness is being more aware of lack than you are of abundance. What does that mean? More aware of what's not there than you are aware of what is there. That's poverty consciousness. You're more aware. Poverty consciousness is you're so hyper-tuned in to what's missing that you know the price of almost everything and the value of almost nothing. And you ask the question, how much does it cost, but you never ask the question, how much is it worth? Whatever, it doesn't matter. People complain about the price of gas, but they don't leave their car parked in the driveway and walk to work. And you're saying, Meyer, that's easy for you to say because no, it's easy for me to say because I'm going to put gas in my car if I'm rich, poor, or otherwise. I'm going to put gas in my car because I don't want to walk to work. It's 13 miles. I'm going to put gas in my car anyway. So what good is crying about the price of gas? I realized something a long time ago. The time, effort, and energy that we spend complaining about the way things are, and we spent that same amount of time, effort, and energy making things better, making ourselves better, we'd have a whole lot less to complain about. Yeah, I wish I had. Are y'all tracking? literally causes us to miss what's there. I talked about this before many times. Like, I'm thinking about right now how hot I am, which is causing me to not be as aware of the fact that the air conditioner is on, even though clearly it is, because I can hear it. If I can feel it, that would make it even better. Okay. But my point is, like being hyper aware of what's missing causes us to miss what's there. And so, the first temptation in the history of the world was the temptation to focus on life. What does that even mean? No, it was Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Yeah, that's what I just said. The first temptation in the history of the world was the temptation to focus on lack. What does that mean? Well, in Genesis chapter 2, verse 16 and 17, it says, the Lord God commanded man, saying, of every tree, I'm going to write this for y'all. Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Can somebody tell me every tree? That sounds like lack or abundance. It don't get any more abundant than every tree for free. Like, there's no. What are we talking about? Right? They said, but of the tree, how many is the? Okay. So Adam and Eve had everything for free, but one thing. Am I missing something? Or is that how it reads? They had everything for free, but one thing. Isn't that fascinating? But Satan, the serpent, was able to get Eve's attention off of every freebie and got her attention on the one thing she lacked. And that shift in attention cost them everything. The scripture says that the tree of knowledge of good and evil was in the middle of the garden. What does that tell us? They had to walk past all of their abundance to get to the thing they liked. I have a question for you. You're watching on YouTube right now. Here's my question for you. What abundance in your life are you walking past and ignoring right now to get to the things you like? I don't know. It seems like a fair question. If you think, well, I don't have anything. Okay. Calm down. Let's don't say that now. Because you can find out what not having anything feels like in a quick, fast hurry. When we're focused on what's not there, we're automatically not focused on what is there. The scripture tells a story in Genesis chapter 21 about Hagar. She's in the desert. She got a bottle. She runs out of water. She puts her son under a shrub. She starts crying. And the angel asked a question that does not sound like an angelic question. Angel said, hey, Hagar, what you crying about? There's a woman, single mom, in the desert with a child and no water. And the angel said, Hagar, what is it, Hagar? Hey, what are you crying about? Hey, Hagar, what you crying about? That does not sound like an angelic question to me. Well, it's obvious. Duh, this bottle doesn't have any water in it. Duh, right? But the angel says, for God hath heard the voice of the lad where he is. And then it says, and God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. Which tells us what about the well of water? It was already there. Go read Genesis chapter 21. It's a mind-blowing story. The well of water was already there. But she was so focused on the empty bottle, she couldn't see the full well. Here's my question for you. What empty bottle in your life are you so focused on? In your relationships, in your finances, in your health? What's missing in your life right now that's causing you to miss what's there? What are you so zoned in on? She's so zoned in on the emptiness of the bottle, she can't see the fullness of the well. Or we could say, because of the water welling up in her eyes, she couldn't see the well of water in front of her eyes. All I'm saying is, poverty consciousness poverty. Do you understand? The reason people attempt to take advantage of other people is because they perceive they're lacking something that they think they deserve. A lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of poor people suffer from what I call victim, villain, savior complex. They start out victim, villain. Victim. I'm a victim. I've been done wrong, so I'm going to go take this thing that I should have by now. I'm entitled to this. So they get an entitlement mentality, and they say, I'm going to go, and so what they do is they become, a Robin Hood, right. A robbing hood. Okay, anyway. Okay, and then they want to save other people from this victimhood that they're aware of. And so what they do is they start fighting against the establishment. If I don't fight a war, I'm gonna fight a war of commitment. I'm gonna fight a war of magic. I'm gonna fight a war that when I win, it matters. So here's a war that I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight a war to change you. I have a hard time changing me.
Sorry, sir.
They shouldn't be that way. They are.
Yeah,
I don't have
that's
shoulds
perfect.
for people. I don't have time.
That's great.
I'm not gonna shouldn't you. Should or shouldn't you. I don't have any shoulds or shouldn't for you. Do you, boo? I don't have time to have a should for you. Why? Because it's a waste of time, effort, and energy. I don't even have shoulds for me. I just do's and don't do's. I'm gonna either do it or I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna have I should work out. No, I'm gonna work out. Alright? I should eat. No, I'm gonna eat right, alright? We ain't shoulding up in here. We ain't doing it. You say, what are you saying, man? I'm saying focus on the abundance. Like you could wake up every morning. Do you know how much this would change your life? What if you woke up every morning and you just realized that everybody who went to bed last night didn't wake up this morning? Wouldn't that change how you wake up? Talk about attitude of gratitude. No, last night. What's today's date? 17th. The 16th, somebody went to bed. The 17th, they didn't wake up. A whole bunch of people around the world went to bed last night, did not wake up this morning. You wake up with attitude. You open your eyes. Hey, you open your eyes and you can see. And you got attitude. There are people who have never seen anything in their life, who've been alive for decades and have never seen anything in their life. And you're going to open your eyes. Got enough nerve to open your God-given eyes. They're blessed with sight and got the nerve to have an attitude. Child, please. And then you want other people to feel like, I ain't joining your pity party, baby. You can see. Hey, guess what I know about you? You know how to make yourself look, but you don't know how to make yourself see. That'll change the whole thing, won't it? I've opened so many. I have not even gotten out of bed yet, and I'm opening gifts of the Lord. No wonder the scripture says, blessed be the Lord who daily loadeth me with benefits. But sometimes we forget to count those blessings, and I stand up and my legs can hold me, and I go down and my arms work, and my ears work, and I have a house to live in. I didn't sleep under a bridge last night, and even if I did sleep under a bridge last night and I woke up this morning, I still got some blessings to count. I'm just saying our awareness of what's missing is costing us what we could have had by now if we had only been grateful for what we've already had so far. Okay. Poverty consciousness. They're so like Marion, are you one of those prosperity gospel preachers who knows what you mean by that? If you mean biblical prosperity, yes. Whatsoever you, like the man that delights in the law of the Lord from Psalm 1, and whatsoever you do shall prosper, yeah, I'm that kind of biblical prosperity preacher. But if you're talking about one of those preachers that sells blessings to people and say, you give me money, God's going to bless you, I don't have any blessings for sale. If you give me money, God might bless you. Then again, maybe not. I don't know. If you want to test it, I'm open for the test. Just saying. Fortunately for me, I don't need to ask people for money. I don't need to ask churches for money. I'm going to speak at a church in Scottsdale on the 30th. And when church wants me to come speak, I don't care if it's locally, I don't care if it's across the country, I don't care if it's across the world. Man, you don't have to give me anything. If you want to give some money to my nonprofit, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Like, what are your requirements? Well, you do have to pay for me to get there. And you have to pay for me while I'm there. But you don't have to pay for me. But I don't have to come either. I'm not looking for some place to go. I like home. Okay, so poverty consciousness versus prosperity consciousness. Like, I'm not going to join into somebody's poverty consciousness pity party to make them feel good about the fact that they haven't thought about these things before. Okay. Now, if you want to say, yeah, but everything's so expensive. Well, if that's what you choose to believe, more power to you. How about this? It costs what it costs. And God gave me creativity that's greater than the cost of anything that He ever intends for me to buy. So you say, wait, what? Okay. So we have some more internal conflicts. I got 7. I've only done 2. Let's do another one. This is one of my favorites. Consumption versus production. We live in a marketing world. The marketing messages are a deluge. They are a flood. They come at us from every direction into all of our senses. And they are saying, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. I am not judging those people because I have some of those messages out there in my own show. Hashtag just say it. But we have to have some level of self-restraint when it comes to consumption versus production.
Looks good.
Like,
Appreciate it.
Back in there.
my life, I'm a consumer.
So much
you.
Consumes. Hopefully I'm never just a consumer. And nobody's ever just a producer. Because, like, life requires that you consume. But here's the beauty. If you can think of your life like your vocation in life as a gardener. Because a garden is God's ideal environment for man.
Awesome.
And you can stop thinking about the so-called economy as a pie that has pieces.
I'm ready for one. Thank you.
And you start thinking about the so-called economy. You say, why do you say so-called economy? Because everybody has their own economy. You have yours, I have mine, your next door neighbor has theirs, people down the street have theirs.
Hey y'all.
So, what if you started thinking about the so-called economy?
Thank y'all for, if y'all on here and y'all did a thumbs up.
What's the difference? Well,
Thank y'all. If y'all on here and y'all just paying attention to me. Thank y'all. Y'all, I'm Tasha, the owner of the Barber Experience. A barbershop that's spreading love, serving, mindset renewal, like completely the opposite of in case I interrupt y'all and y'all was in here listening to what we was listening to, that's Myron Golden, World War Me. Y'all, we be really battling the war in ourselves, and we sit here and try to focus on everything else but ourselves. So if you need to check that out, it's on YouTube. Myron Golden, y'all. He do not disappoint. I'm Tasha, owner of the Barber Experience. Love what I do. This is Motivation Monday. This is really motivation every day here. This is a barbershop where we don't, I don't use my clients as a trash can. I don't let my clients use me as a trash can. I sit here and really serve them to perfection. I give them the best service that I can with zero noise for me. Because I'd rather them listen to some solution than talk about a whole bunch of problems. So that's one thing that stands me apart from any other barber. To each his own. Everybody need what they need. I just realized it took me a long time to realize that I had so much healing that I had to do within myself. And at the time where I was trying to heal, I was actually bleeding on people, like putting my problems on people, and that's not what I'm called to do. I didn't go to school to be a therapist. I went to school to be a barber. So what they teach in barber school is hair, skin, and nails. They don't teach us how to give you therapy advice. So since that can kind of go hand in hand, and people say they come into the barber experience for therapy, I started researching people on YouTube and online that can give us some good healing and solutions. It wasn't coming from me. I was not the one to get advice, and 99.9999999% barbers, a lot of barbers should not be giving you advice. And sometimes you can really be honest within yourself and realize you shouldn't be giving advice because of it's your life. Not knocking nobody, but that just kind of like being, when you like go in the inside of you and you really be honest with yourself, like, I got some work to do. This ain't the season. This thank you. I just started getting to the point that me just trying to give advice that, and my life wasn't living up to that. I started realizing it is so serious when, and anybody listening that's a woman, man or woman, there's only two people that can be listening, men or women. Y'all be careful who's over your head, touching your head. This is a very big, amazing crown. And sometimes people will, you can feel their energy. You can, even if they just slayed you, but you're like, dang, I feel slayed, but something is draining. They dumped something on you that you didn't. They put a seed in you. They put something in you that you didn't supposed to carry. And you running around like, why do I feel like this? It was times where my clients would come in here. I'll give y'all one story. One time, because I used to let my clients just dump on me. So my client was going through a divorce. He was like, Tasha, shoot, when I got married, I cheated on my wife 3 months in. Well, at the time, at that very, very time, I was 3 months married, and we've been together for 3 months. I immediately went home like, let me see your phone. I wish you would. I'm like, and my husband like, I just was cooking dinner, like, and it was just like, that's one big giant scenario that I can use. But it was times where even when a man come in here, since I'm a barber and I'm a woman, a man to come in here and dump all of this on me and feel like he checked off the box, I released everything that I'm feeling. A married man at that, or a man that's in a serious relationship, I release how I felt on a woman. So in your psychological mind, you checked off the box that I talked to a woman, but you didn't talk to the right woman. And I'm biased because you're paying me. This is a transaction. So I'm kind of like team you. I don't know the whole story. Only person that can really know the whole story is you and your spouse, or you and your partner. So I'm like, I'm over here really not giving out sound advice. So when I started realizing, I put all that together, and I didn't do that personally. I put this on everything I love. God walked me through this. And if I really want to be transparent, God drugged me through this. Like, I skipped all up like, whoa, I didn't know. And he was like, shh. You shouldn't be talking over my sons, my kings. They have a bigger assignment, and you're putting too much of your problems on them, and you're letting them dump our problems, and you're not giving them sound advice. If anything, let me talk to them. So I just changed the whole dynamic of the barber experience and started being like, I'm called to serve you. I'm called to take care of your hair, skin, and nails. And the greatest among us is going to serve the most. So out of everybody on the internet and all the barbershops y'all see, all these barbershops y'all see putting hot towels on now, and y'all, I'm the GOAT. I started it. I promise y'all, you can go to my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok, go all the way down to my stories, and you will see who started this. And I prayed and asked God, let me be an example for other barbers to start doing this. So I'm not a gatekeeper. I love everybody. Like, oh, you know everybody copying you, Tasha. Thank you. If people copying serving people, let's get it. Let's get it, because we That is loving your neighbor well. But when you really love your neighbor well, you gotta really know like when you need to not give advice. Sometimes we think we know all the answers. You don't. Look at your life. And I had to look. You don't have to. I had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, Tasha, you shouldn't be giving these men advice. Cause I would come in. I've been doing this for 20 years. I got clients that's been my clients for the last 15 years. I've been doing it for 20 years. I got clients that's been on my team for the last 15 years. I was seeing them come in year after year with the same problem. I'm like, do you know we've been talking about this for the last 5 years? Wait, something. We ain't doing something. Let me answer a couple of questions. Somebody just said something. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Stu. This is how I came up with the Barber tree. Everybody always asks me that question. Where did this come up with? It was God set me down and realized, Tasha, I care more about your family than I care about this business. So then he set me down during COVID and was like, I need you to focus at home. And then when I went home and I started focusing at home first, I realized I don't got nothing to say to y'all. My home was a mess. Do you hear me? I went home like I know all of this. I've been doing this for 20 years. I know all my clients' vacations. I know their anniversaries. I know what they did last night. What they did. They just y'all think women talk. Men bump their gums. Y'all see that? Y'all see the big giant scandal that's on the internet now, Dalton and Psycho. Who's doing all the yapping? Dalton. Men talk so much. It be like women talk. No. Men, sit a man in that chair. All you gotta do is sit a man in the chair and do this. Sit a man in the chair. Y'all, men, I'm telling y'all secret. Sit a man in the chair and cut this off. You know what? If they come in with a big giant wall up, they got up. That as soon as I get right here, they gotta release that. So now they walls is down, and when you get a man's wall down, when I tell you, it be like, whoa, that was too much information. You told me too much. You told me too much. You told me too much. Y'all, I'm a 20-year-old barber and I got stories out the wazoo. When I tell you, I can, y'all like, because you know, this is the year of, I just like drama. Only thing that's why we ain't popular, because we ain't drama filled. I was on here talking, I had like 15,000 followers, but since we ain't talking drama, we talking positive. Yeah, you get 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's cool. And I'm cool with it because I don't need that crowd. This is not your channel because I'm not jumping on that bandwagon to get views. I do. Zero cares about views. Zero. I'm already in my bag. I don't work a 9 to 5. I don't ask nobody. I don't clock in. I don't gotta ask boss man to let me. In my bag. I do not have to sit here and entertain internet to get here. But what I am telling you is when a man come in here and they sit down, they open up. And they was opening up. And I started realizing y'all opening up with the wrong people. It took me a long time. I felt like it was like a privilege. I know stuff. Like then they sometimes bring their wife in here. We was like so cool. Their wife would come in and it's like they wife knew. She know way too much. I do. I mean, I even know what go on in the bedroom. That's how much it was. It was just too much information. And I realized I wasn't, that's not what I was called to carry. And the reason why I learned that I wasn't called to carry that, because I knew so much about them and didn't know nothing about myself and my home. When I tell you, I'll give y'all one story of why I didn't know too much about home. I went home in 2019, in 2020. In 2020, when I went home and God told me to put my clippers down because I wasn't being obedient, because he told me to be quiet and just start serving way back in like 2018. I was like, that sounds stupid. That ain't from God. God, I can't be in here being quiet. Everybody knows the barber is the talker. People will come in here and get like, when people come and sit in the bar experience right now today, when I tell you they break out in hives like, why she ain't talking? Why she ain't talking? I know you ain't used to it. I know. Thank me later. Thank me later that I didn't dump on you. Thank me later I didn't let you dump on me. And then all the words that you had like bottled up in your head and in your heart and in your soul, call your wife. Tell her all that. Because that's where change gonna happen. And if you don't have a wife, go home and look in the mirror and talk to yourself in the mirror. And guess what? Let me tell you what I do. Let me tell you my secret. You see this chair? I face that client to that mirror. You need to talk to somebody. That's the most important person you're going to talk to. Is right there. You look at that self in the mirror. And you know what? If you go home and you go look at yourself in the mirror and start talking to yourself, you're going to think you're crazy. But you know what? You're not. That's the most important person you're going to talk to all day is you. Because you know what? You got to quit lying to you. You got to tell you what's going on. You sound like, let me just, and then you want validation from everybody, and then you only want to talk to people that want to tell you what you want to hear. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. I only want to hear what you want, what I want to hear. I know I'm right. No, you're not. Look at your life. You still asking boss man, can you have an off day? Catch it. Catch it. Who's asking for permission in 2026? Let's look in that mirror real quick. When I went home, I realized in 2020, a week before COVID happened, and we was about to go home, my daughter had went to Disneyland World with my sister. And before she went, she was 16, so she was going with my sister. And I was too busy opening up, running the Barber experience. I couldn't go. So here, I send you the money. I buy all the stuff. Here go her money on the hotel, whatever you need. Just let her go. And I was taking her shopping. I took her shopping to get a bikini, and she's 16, so she wears her two-piece. She's real cute, shaped out right. I'm letting her I'm at the mall with her while she's trying on two-piece outfit, two-piece swimsuits. I'm like, oh, that's cute, Tim. That's my child. They come back. I want to say it was like a week later. I felt so quick. It might have been 2 months later. They had told us to put our clippers down and go home. I'm thinking I knew it wasn't just society telling me. I knew it was God telling me that. Because he's been telling me, I need you to focus on home more than you focus on this business. And then when I went home and I put my clippers down, my 16-year-old daughter, 5 months pregnant. I didn't know she was even having. What? 5. We just went to go try on bikinis. I don't see nothing. But I know everything that's going on in this chair. I don't know who that's for. Because I really don't be opening up like this. If you know me, anybody that know Tasha, Tasha don't do all that. But I had to come to the realization that I was doing too much here and not enough there. So now when you come into the barber experience, we serve you, we take great care of you, but we save your words for where it matters the most. Your words matter so much more at home. So much more You're so valued at that home. They just need to know where you at, where you stand, and give them a chance to change as you're changing. I hope that helped somebody. They came from my heart. That came from my heart. Y'all don't even know. I have dealt with men after I done did this. I haven't said a word. By the time they get out of this chair, they crying. Everybody want me to talk about, oh, this is how we fade. This, I got enough of that on the internet. I can give y'all barbers to go. I can't think of his name right now. It's a barber school in Atlanta. Can't think of his name. White guy. Amazing teacher. Oh my goodness. I want to just go down there for a day and just sit under him and suck up that knowledge. 360 A1. Like, I got barbers. I can give y'all a list. Y'all look, if you inbox me and y'all need barbers that want to educate you on barbers. Me, I'm more of in here and in here. We try, like, that's okay. Here go your crispy haircut. But now what? Because it's too many crispy people running around here failing. But you're crispy, though. Life. But you're crispy. Your lineup is on point. I got you. I got you, though. I, Tasha, promise to give you the best haircut and service that I have. But what's next after your crispy haircut? Think about it. Simmer it. Catch it. I know this ain't for everybody, but the one person that it is for. Let's go out here and change the world. Starting with changing your mindset with a crispy haircut. Don't just have a crispy haircut and an unaffected mind. Your mind is way more important than your hair. Way more. I hope this helps somebody. Guess what? I wish I would listen, because I started at 8:30. I'm so much in my bag that I'm done for today. That's the next teaching. I'm going to show y'all. It don't take all that. Because y'all need to learn how to make y'all money in this amount of time. Because y'all need to focus on yourself and your family. Get into a relationship with God. He didn't say work all day. He didn't say work all day. He did not say work all day. I'm done. I've been done. I've been on here talking to y'all. Love, peace, hair grease. I love y'all. Love, peace, change mindset. I need to definitely do that. I've been student. If you still on here, I need to be the one to do it. But when it comes to social media, and I got so much, like, I just pour it out, and now that you get to see the heart of who I am and behind the Barbie experience. And I love before somebody really work with me, and we come in as a team and you're a moderator. I really want you to know the heart behind the Barbie experience. I'm not your typical barbershop. I'm not that. Like, you make sure that, hey, I want the heart. I promise. Everybody else can go after everything else. But when it comes to social media and stuff like that, I like to get on here and do it like a 5-minute this. But when it comes to like the real logistics or whatever I need to work on, I have a team, and that team member needs to contact you. And I'm going to get on that team member to contact you. If the team member that I want to contact you don't contact you, I'm gonna get my assistant to contact you. Cause I be wanting that to be something that team works on. Just like when you work on what you work on, and which I really appreciated so much. I've been praying for you, cause you are like God sent to me. And y'all gotta realize, and I'm so healed enough to realize when God sent his people, that I love that. I just know my capacity of what I'm doing. And since I am the owner and the for real hands behind and the service behind this, when it comes to the business side, I like to have a whole separate workforce behind that. So I'm gonna tell 2 of my different team members. One of them gonna reach out to you today, cause I'm gonna get on to them. My assistant, she's gonna be on it. Who I want to be on it need to get on it. So we're gonna make sure he's on it today. If he don't, then it's gonna be my assistant, and she's gonna get on it. I'm gonna talk to her as soon as I finish. She's probably got a laundry list of stuff that she wants me to do too. I look forward to from hearing from you too, and I appreciate you so much. You don't understand. I've really been praying for you, and I really think God sent you to me, to this channel for a reason. And as much as I grow, we gonna grow, and let's do this together. And I do appreciate you more than you know. I do see value in people. I really do, and I see the value in you. So thank you so much, and I will get with y'all. I will get with you as soon as possible. That's why that is because this screen protect is over the camera part. I'm just now noticing that. I got you. Okay, y'all. I'm about to go.